What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We are going to talk about Silver Surfer in Dark Dimension 4. Now, I'm working my way through my second run, the timed run of Dark Dimension 4, trying to get those 7 stars on Dr. Doom. And those last 2 extra red stars, because man, he really needs them. Trying him out in Arena, it's just not it's not as good without those final stars on Dr. Doom. But we're going to focus on Silver Surfer and Cosmic. Now, with my Cosmic run, I actually brought in 5 characters. I usually would bring in Minerva, Thanos, and the Dad Bros and Silver Surfer. There were times where I'd change that up. If I go and pull up the first attempt here, yeah, I had to bring in Proxima. I kind of messed this one up where I didn't use Proxima earlier, so her stun wasn't available. So I had to kind of eat a bad run. But once I did that, I was able to go through the first node of Dark Dimension pretty quickly, and then was able to two-shot Dark Dimension node 8 of Cosmic, and then node 9 I got 6 attacks in. Much better than my first initial run of Cosmic. Mostly that is due to the Dad Bros and how crazy they are, but I wanted to bring in Silver Surfer at the same time because I wanted to kind of see what I was going to get. Now, you may notice here on some of the ISOs for Silver Surfer, I was running Raider on him, and that's because of the critical hit synergy that he gets with Dad Bros. Every time an ally scores a crit, it dries up the speed bar and barrier on the Dad Bros, and that's why I put Raider on Silver Surfer for this. Most of the time, you're going to put Striker, and you can actually see in my 6th attack, I switched Silver Surfer back over to Striker, and that's because of the enemies I was facing in that final wave, where there are characters who are able to put out a lot of buffs on themselves, and also a lot of debuffs on my on my characters. So I was able to get the double tap with Silver Surfer, where he would attack, he would transfer positive effect, or he would transfer negative effects over to the enemy target, and then also steal positive effects for himself at the same time. And you can see I also did do some ISO or some T4s on him, and I'll pull him up here so you guys can see where my Silver Surfer is at. I've got all the T4s on him, only ISO level 4 right now. I'm working on getting more more of those ISO crystals for him so that I can take him up to ISO 5. But yeah, just for the synergy with Dad Bros, I had him over as Raider for those nodes, and then switched him back to Striker once I got to nodes where the Striker with the double tap and transferring would actually work a lot better. And it's because every time he uses this basic attack, he transfers all positive effects or all negative effects. He can't transfer both, it's one or the other. So you will have to find some situational things where sometimes Striker on Silver Surfer is better, but usually that Raider with the Dad Bro synergy, I thought that worked really well. And honestly, he's got, I will say, if you're wondering about whether or not you should take Silver Surfer right now, my answer is going to be wait. Like, he's definitely a second run kind of character for now. Once we get more stars on him, once you get a higher star count on Silver Surfer, he's absolutely a great character to take on your first run, because he's only 3 stars right now. The problem is he's still kind of liable. He's still, sorry, not liable, but he's not really consistent, and he can get picked off pretty quickly. He's not as powerful as his end form will be once you have those higher stars on him. He's still only sitting at 98,000 power for me right now. And I mean, he's got decent amount of health, decent amount of damage and armor, focus, resistance, but he's just not, he's not going to be as good as he would be at higher star counts. He's definitely a second run character right now, but first run, definitely someone you can hold off for now. Once we get 5 stars on him, even 6, that's when you're definitely going to want to use him as a first run character. And I'm going to show you guys footage of this team in action, and you guys can just see it, and we'll keep talking about this. But the one big thing about Silver Surfer is that he is a mystic character, and this is where things are going to get tricky, because there's certain mystic characters you really want to bring in a Dark Dimension 4. Thanos Thanos and Ebony Maw are both 2 great mystic characters, and then you get to Hela. Hela is another cosmic mystic character, and I have never brought in Hela, and now with Silver Surfer, I can definitely say you do not want to bring in Hela, because of the fact that she is incredibly expensive. She requires 5 sets of the tier 15 uniques. She needs 90 pieces of those Mystic 15 uniques in order to bring her up to tier 15, which is absolutely expensive. Sorry, still a little early in the morning. I'm trying to... but, yeah, so she's very expensive in that way, and that's why I don't really recommend bringing up Hela right now, and is why I never really brought up Hela in the first place, because of just how much Mystic gear she was going to need. And honestly, my Mystic gear, I kind of just hoarded it because I wanted Doom right away at tier 15. And then we got Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer is Mystic. Doom is a mix of Tech and Mystic, but you will use Mystic Uniques on him. So you definitely want to save those Mystic Uniques for Doom as well. And that is why, yeah, Hela makes the Mystic nodes go a lot easier. A lot of your one-shots in Mystic that you can see on the leaderboard were because of Hela and how Greg was constantly dying and driving up the speed bar on Minerva. I have her next to Thanos. I have Minerva next to Thanos so that every time an enemy dies, you can see it here. Minerva's gaining ability energy. She's popping off her ult more often. That ult with the Hellsteel is a very big deal, but you also kind of need to hoard it from time to time. You gotta make sure you use it at the right time too. But yeah, honestly, I can't really recommend going for Hela anymore. Hela's still good. She's great in war offense now with his Guardians falling off war defense, but there's just better options for Mystic gear now with Silver Surfer and Doom. She's kind of becoming a second tier Mystic character for who you want to push for Dark Dimension 4 now. If you are working on Hela, I'm not saying that you made a terrible decision. I just think there are better options. You're still going to work great with Hela. Hela's going to allow you to one-shot a lot of those cosmic nodes. So it's not a big deal, but it's definitely one of those things where you have better options now. So once you do complete Dark Dimension 4 and you get those rewards, Doom is an obvious option for that Mystic gear, but I'd say Silver Surfer is probably a better option right now. You can use that Mystic gear that you get from your second run of the timed run for Dark Dimension 4. Use that to take Doom up to tier 15. I did use Doom in my global nodes for tier 15, or for my timed run of Dark Dimension 4, and it was honestly not, it was actually pretty easy, but I had also one-shot those the first time through. So it wasn't like, it wasn't anything crazy. I mean, you can see here I've got Doom, Zemo, Emma, Sinister, and Ghost. And I'm going to do a video with Wolverthor tonight. We'll push it out tomorrow, talking about how the rewards for Dark Dimension 4 are not as good as you would remember them being for Dark Dimension 3 or Dark Dimension 2. And that's why who you bring into Dark Dimension 4 absolutely matters. And we'll talk about that with Wolverthor. You guys may want to check that one out, because there's gonna be some screenshots of some absolutely terrible Dark Dimension 4 rewards, and just to show you why it's so important that you go for certain characters there. But yeah, honestly, I have to say right now at 3-3, Silver Surfer works great. Every time someone takes a turn, whether it's an enemy or an ally, he heals up 5% of his max health, and then he gains 15% stacking speed. It stacks up to 3 times, but after that, you can see that right there. You can see the importance of having of like the counter on Silver Surfer and why that was so important. Carnage is gonna put bleeds on Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer is going to counter, and then he's gonna put those bleeds right back on Carnage. And yeah, it's beautiful. So yeah, we're healing up here with Minerva a little bit. And you're going to see Carnage go here in a second and put bleeds onto Silver Surfer. He's going to transfer him right back. And this is one of those things where, yeah, you just kind of notice just how crazy and how good that basic is, and why you really want to do that T4 on Silver Surfer, not just for DD4, but in general, because if someone attacks him and then he counters and it's a whole lot of debuffs, well, then he just puts them right back. And that's the end of that. You can see there are a bunch of critical hits, giant up the speed bar and barrier on Longshot and Shatterstar. It's kind of a shame the other two X Factor characters are not cosmic characters. One of them's city, one of them's global, which is fine. You don't want to, but yeah, I mean, X Factor as a whole is going to be crazy powerful. I cannot wait for it. But yeah, guys, this is a good one. I'm very excited to see what X Factor is going to do. I'm getting a little off topic here, but yeah, this is X Factor. You can already see the power of the two Dad Bros, and this is also more like a showcase of Dad Bros and what they could do for you in Cosmic as well. But you guys can see Silver Surfer, I mean, he takes damage, but then look, he's just constantly healing up, and yeah, 15,000 health every turn. I mean, it's great. So Silver Surfer, I think right now, definitely someone that you want to use for your second run, but once you get him up to 4 or 5 stars, that's when I'd say probably 5 would be a minimum threshold for me for making him be a first time character for DD4. I think there are some better options. You probably want to save up that Mystic gear right now. Thanos and Ebony Maw are I'd say a little more important for that Mystic gear right now. And then yeah, it's just going to be a case by case basis. Again, if you are short on Mystic gear, it's probably something where you want to use Silver Surfer on your second run versus your first run. It all just kind of depends on where your Mystic gear is at with these characters and where you are with them. But I would definitely do Silver Surfer instead of Hela. That is one I definitely wanna stress, is that Hela's time in the sun for DD4, I think it's kind of fading now because of Silver Surfer and just how crazy powerful he is. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to really show here. I mean, I'm basically just going through and just kind of one-shotting or finishing off this one wave. I end up losing Thanos and Minerva at the end because why not? But I figured since I'm on my last node here, I didn't really need to worry about it. And then we just have the powerhouse trio of Surfer, Longshot, and Shatterstar, and they're just doing things on their own. Shatterstar and Longshot are constantly getting barrier because of the crits. Silver Surfer is healing up so much. And this is where I've got the Phantom buff glitch again, where I've got like counter that never fades on Silver Surfer. But yeah, this is definitely a team that this is definitely a character that I really like, and definitely someone I think is gonna be a very solid character for you and Dark Dimension 4. So I want to hear from you guys. What are your all's thoughts on Silver Surfer for Dark Dimension 4? Does this help change your mind? Does it make you want to use him more? Let me know down below. But as always, if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.